Greetings, CRS 435ers. Welcome to week 5 of online interviewing. This week we are focusing on political interviews. And so the major theme of this week with politics is the fact that interviews are typically channels and messages that help us make democratic decisions, right? And I don't mean democratic capital D as in liberal Democrat. I'm talking about engaging in democracy. Speeches are one thing, right? Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton can stand up and deliver a speech. But the interview is more important in a way because the interview allows an exchange and ebb and flow of information that a speech does not allow. If Donald Trump is standing up delivering a political speech or a policy speech, no one really can debate or argue or follow up to get him to clarify on something unless it's later on in an interview or a speech. The interview allows more rapid fire exchange of information, and it also allows us to see where candidates, whether it's presidential candidates or congressmen or congresswoman, or even in a job interview, how they stand on certain issues, right? And again, I know that this is more geared towards presidential politics in a way this week, but think of politics as office politics or sociological politics in a way, race, ethnicity, gender. What kind of coffee do you prefer? That's political in nature. For the sake of argument this week, and to be more specific, I want us to focus on Katie Couric and Sarah Palin's 2008 political news interview, where Sarah Palin is candidate for vice president of the United States, and she is just not prepared. She did not prepare for this interview. In my face-to-face traditional class, we actually watched the film Game Change, which highlights a little bit more of the process before the interview took place. But this interview really does highlight how Americans were able to shape their opinion on the presidential and vice presidential tickets as well back in 2008. So I want us to approach the Katie Couric and Sarah Palin interview as a way of demonstrating how an interview can either make or break a political candidate or an individual, professionally speaking. There are other factors involved as well. The reading this week is really supplemental in a way. It's long, it's tedious. I want you to just get the basics of it. You're not tested on anything this week in terms of the reading, but I want you to bring a little bit of the reading into the discussion. Also, I think it's important for you to view the PowerPoint presentation so you see the 4 spheres and the 4 elements that are involved in making or breaking the Sarah Palin candidacy for vice president in terms of just what a disaster this interview was. Katie Couric really did nothing wrong, but there were other elements involved. It just wasn't the fact that Sarah Palin did not prepare for the big interview. Shifting away from politics, I want to also remind you that your first major informational interview is due Sunday night by 11:59 p.m. I know some of you were able to get me your recordings for the Man on the Street interview via Google Drive. That's totally fine. If you want to do it through Google Drive, just let me know. I'm not attached to my Google Gmail all the time. Just let me know. That's totally fine. Any way you can get me the recording really is okay. So the informational interview, please read the directions carefully. It only has to be between 10 and 20 minutes, and the reason for that is because I don't have endless amounts of time to grade your interviews. So try to stay within that time span. Lastly, you have to do an evaluation, basically a quick reflection. What did you do well? What areas of improvement can you work on for the future? How did your interviewee respond to your questions? What types of questions did you use? How was your opening? Did you feel confident? So basically grade yourself. Just a quick 1 page, doesn't have to be too long or too involved. Lastly, please make sure that you post your response to your online discussion question by Sunday night as well. So you've got quite a bit of work to do this week. I will be available for online office hours on Tuesday night and Thursday night between 7 and 8 p.m. I'm signing off. Have a fabulous week, and I hope you're enjoying this beautiful fall weather.